Hello and welcome to Homestead Miami Speedway down in southern Florida for tonight's exhibition race with the NAVSCAR League. I'm your host, Jeremy Patterson. With me tonight is Mike Fair, who helps run NAVSCAR. He and I have been working together a lot lately on the broadcast overlays and getting these races together between the two leagues. Mike, it's good to have you broadcasting with us again. What do you think we're going to see here tonight at Miami?
Oh, it's good to be back. I'm glad to be back in the broadcast booth. We've taken a bit of a break from getting out there, and I'm excited to see these guys run together. We got a bunch of strong drivers from both leagues, and exhibition races are always fun. So I'm excited to see what these guys can put down.
Yeah, real exciting seeing these the two leagues get together. We've had a few of your guys come over and race with us the last couple of times. Great drivers. We enjoy having them. So I think we're going to see some good stuff tonight.
For sure.
So I think it was Nate LaFleur was fastest in practice. Was I right on that?
Yeah, he was. I think he did lead the practice parties pretty quick. There was a couple of drivers up there that I'm used to seeing up there. I think the fastest NAVSCAR driver was Dustin. And there's some pretty interesting times. We'll see how qualifying goes.
Yeah, and right now Max Terrio is sitting on pole with a 32.86. A couple drivers are still getting their laps in though. Actually, I'm looking at, don't think any drivers are still running, so Max Terrio, I think, took pole.
I'm surprised by the result. His practice time was mid-pack, so I think he was saving some for qualifying. That was a good lap. Now
we do have a few drivers who haven't run any qualifying laps yet, so they maybe they just didn't get their times in yet. I might be jumping the gun there, but Max is a real good, strong driver. I wouldn't be surprised to see him take pole here.
Yeah, I have noticed over the last couple of weeks that a couple of the guys from NAVSCAR like to hang back, a minute or two and watch what kind of times are put down, and you'll see their times jump up the board late in the session.
Yeah, I don't want to do that whenever I'm racing because I know if I'm thinking about someone else's number, I'm going to push too hard and go right into the wall. So I turn everything off. I don't want to see my lap time. I don't want to see anything till qualifying's over.
Yeah, a lot of people will play mind games with that kind of thing, but you're right. You can beat them for sure.
So while we're waiting, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say Homestead is it's a pretty unique track. It's a little bit different than what I'm used to. A lot of banking for a 1.5 mile speedway. Those corner speeds can really make or break your lap.
Yeah, that's right. We're looking at the track info here. We got 1.5 miles, like you said, 20 degrees banking, and but the shape of this track throws people off a little bit because it's an actual oval. It doesn't have that D shape in the front. So I always have trouble getting off a turn 4 at this track just because I'm used to having more runoff space, and I don't. Pace speed tonight, 65 miles an hour. Pit road speed is 50 miles an hour. And I had the wrong info up there. Tonight's race, 100 laps, 50% fuel, one quick reset, and the lucky dog is in effect. So if drivers a lap down and a caution comes out, the first driver a lap down will get a lap back. And it looks like they have finished qualifying, and Max Terrio did hold on to that pole position. So congratulations to Max Terrio.
Yeah, it's good to see him leading the pack today.
And 22 drivers on the track tonight. So that's for us is a pretty nice big full field. We hope to see fields like this in the coming season too.
Yeah, I think having the leagues combined for these races, getting everybody together, it's definitely helped both leagues' numbers. And knowing that we've got people that can run hard and safe, I think it's going to be exciting. Well, this could be a tough track. We'll see how clean these guys race, but I know throughout the season it's definitely going to be some good, clean racing.
you can see the drivers getting lined up there on pit road. Pretty soon the pace car will take them out of here. And I see the lights are on. That means the pace car is going to start rolling out. And we will run you through the grid here. Row 1, pole sitter Max Terrio, and next to him will be Dustin Phillips in the 22.
Row 2, we got David Howard and Joshua Buckley.
Row 3 is Nate LaFleur and Andy Ash.
Row number 4, we got John Fershing Jr. and Mike Abbott.
Row 5, Andrew Packer and Timothy Lewis.
Row 6, we've got Corey Warden and Calvin Allison.
Row 7, Jeff File, Jamie Christensen.
Row number 8, we got Ricky Goodman and Dale Albright.
Row 9, Ivan Jones and Kevin Cochran.
And then row 10, we got Sean Butler, Raymond Edge. Looks like they didn't put down qualifying times.
All right, I'll just finish this off here. Row 11, Kevin O'Brien, Matt Breckle. And finish it up, row 12. Well, actually, you're listed on there, but you're up here in the booth with me. And we're ready to go green. Ooh, little early bumping and banging up front. Max Terrio does pull out ahead of everybody, so he'll hold on to that lead, looks like, for this first lap.
Looks like Nate's trying to make that inside work.
I saw a driver get into the wall between 1 and 2. I didn't catch who it was, though. You have Joshua Buckley in the number 9. He looks to the inside of the 22 of Dustin Phillips and takes away that third spot. And Nate LaFleur is threatening Dustin now as well.
It looks like Nate's got a nose on him on this corner. Should be able to make the pass. Oh, he's drifting up. That was a good call for Nate to back out of it and keep from pushing into Dustin on that corner.
Yeah, that takes a lot of patience. Sometimes it's difficult to do that when you feel like you can get a spot, but this early in the race, you don't want to go messing it up. We got 100 laps too, so it's a pretty long race for us.
Yeah, I know you guys are looking to run a little bit longer of a race next season, so that's exciting. I like to see give these guys plenty of opportunity to make some strategy work and recover from some early mishaps if it happens. So we got a good side-by-side battle up front for the lead here.
Yeah, we do. David Howard Jr. looking to the inside of Max Terrio. And he has a nose on him, but Max is going to have the momentum coming out of the turn.
He's definitely making that high side work. He gets a really good run off of it and is able to fight off that position. Looks like he's really up on the wall there.
Yeah, David falls in line behind him. Figures he'll probably take another run at it here in a bit.
Yeah, with you guys running a 50% fuel this race, it's going to be interesting to see what these guys do for tires, what kind of fall off we see, if we see guys taking 2 or getting 4 every pit stop. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what these guys maintain.
A little further back, we got John Fershing, and Nate LaFleur's right on his tail. Looks like LaFleur's thinking about making a pass here. Let's see what he does.
He's definitely letting them know he's there.
Yep. And a little further back, we got a side-by-side with Mike Abbott and Calvin Allison. I'm sorry, Corey Wharton.
These two are actually teammates over in NASCAR, so we'll probably see these guys play nice around each other. But they're 2 of the members of High Rev Motorsports.
And just behind them, Andrew Packer, Jamie Christensen, those guys are battling pretty hard. Christensen looks to the outside of Packer, see if he can make the pass on the outside.
Yeah, it looks like Jamie just might get in a little bit too hot and has to pull it back to prevent from getting into the wall coming off the corner.
Yeah, and I think this track is progressively banked, isn't it, Mike?
I believe you're right, yeah. One thing you notice though, when these guys, when NASCAR actually comes to this track, you'll see that rubber line build up into the high line, and over time, over a long run, drivers will move up there because it'll gain a lot of grip from the tire laydown. Unfortunately, iRacing doesn't have a dynamic rubber, whatever you want to call it, so we don't lay down rubber as we go. So the line is the line. Which means you get guys running all over the place right off the bat, but you don't see that top line come in like it does, in the real world.
Right, and that's something I have heard the devs talk about. They're planning on implementing at some point is they call it the new surface model that is supposed to implement temperature changes and rubbering in and all that, and that will definitely change the dynamic of this game a lot.
Yeah, that'd be super exciting to be able to, move your line around throughout a race, have the track change throughout a race. I think that would definitely bring it one step closer to the real thing.
And David Howard has made it around Max Terrio, so he is the new leader. He's led a few laps, and I was back there looking at the rest of the field. I missed it when he passed him.
Yeah, he's been out front for 4 laps, it looks like, but Max is still keeping the pressure on there, so these guys could be fighting for a little while.
And to our viewers, you can see I've turned off our ticker. We're having issues with our ticker tonight. In place of that, we have something I think is a little bit easier to use anyway on the left side of your screen there. It's just a static ticker, has all the positions and all the car numbers, so you can keep track of your favorite driver and what position they're in.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Thank you. Yeah, that'll update every time they cross the start-finish line. So it's not going to move in the middle of a race during a pass, but you will see it every time they cross the start-finish line. It'll update their position.
Yeah, it reminds me of the position towers at the actual track, so I think that's a pretty neat tool, man. I like it.
So it looks like we got a couple pairs here. We got Max Terrio, David Howard up front. And then a little further back, we got Buckley and LaFleur. And then behind them, Dustin Phillips and John Pershing have paired up with Calvin Allison not far behind them.
Yeah, if I didn't know better, I'd say that we've got tandem drafts going on, but I think that's just... I think that's a byproduct of it being a pretty tough track to pass on. So.
Yeah, it did look like that for a little bit there when we had them paired up like that. I wondered, but... And I think draft does come into a bit of a play here as far as keeping your speed up. It's obviously not going to be the same as bump drafting at a track like Daytona or Talladega, though.
Yeah, for sure. But it definitely helped you stick onto that, you know, going from the long stretch and being able to suck up going into that corner. It would definitely have a bit of an impact.
And Max Terrio, David Howard still continue to battle hard for this lead. Max took the lead back from him a few laps ago, and David's keeping the pressure on.
That's good to see. You normally see one car drive away at a track like this, so I like seeing these guys, you know, keep it tight and battling.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that's messing me up right now is everybody has a different number than what I'm used to seeing. And that's just because of the way we had to set up the session with two different leagues. Some people didn't get their usual car numbers. I'm seeing Joshua Buckley, number 9, and it just looks wrong to me.
Yep, and Jimmy Christensen's in the 18. Yeah, there's a lot of different numbers, but you know, at least we're going to see some good racing. I think it's a small price to pay to have these guys race together.
Ooh, Pershing got a little bit loose coming out of turn 2 there. He collected it, but almost looked like his back end was going to smack the wall.
Now, when I was doing some testing this before the race, I didn't get to do a full fuel run, but we got to be getting pretty close. And one thing we didn't talk about is pit entry, man. Pit entry here, I think, is going to be a game changer for these guys.
Yes, pit entry very odd at this track. Let's go to our blimp camera here, and you can see on the upper side of your screen right now, kind of hard to see, but there's a separate little road you got to take to come down pit road. It's not like you come out of turn 4 and shoot down pit road like you normally do. And that road is very narrow.
Yeah, and I know some guys, they pride themselves on being able to take that road at full, like as fast as they can, because you can really make up some time to a driver that is, you know, taking it easy on that entry. So if you've got your pit entry down and you know your timing and you can keep it from spinning, it's a great opportunity to make up huge amounts of time.
Yeah, but high risk, very high risk. I usually take it pretty easy on that road. I don't like doing green flag pit stops here because of that, because I'm so careful on that road that I lose a lot of ground.
Yeah, both entry and exit, you got to be careful about losing the back end.
A little further back, we got the 28 and the 22 side by side. Looks like the 28 of Calvin Allison's looking to the inside to make a pass on Dustin Phillips. And he does complete that pass.
And Dustin looks like he's going to do the over-under here.
Yeah, I think so. Doesn't quite get there.
Yeah, it's another two drivers that have a lot of time racing in NASCAR together, so I think we saw Dustin kind of let him go a little bit. Looks like they're bunched up just behind these guys, though.
Yeah, the 82 and Mike Abbott all over Dustin's tail now. Yeah, and you can see there on the differential, Mike Abbott is pulling away from Dustin Phillips pretty fast. He's already got almost a half a second lead on him. And Mike is a very strong driver. I had the good fortune of racing with him with the NASCAR League a couple weeks ago and really enjoyed it. I thought I had a shot at the win. Oh! What happened to Abbott?
He just disappeared from my computer.
Yeah, I had the camera on him, and it looked like he was going into the wall, and then he disappeared, and now he is sitting next to pit road with smoke coming out of his car. Wow, what happened? I don't know. It looked like maybe a connection issue or something, because he just went right off the road.
Yeah, and the fact that he's still sitting there, that's well, if he's back, though. That's weird.
I hope everything's all right. You never know. Sometimes there's an emergency or something at the house, and he have to get up and run. I hope he's okay. We'll come back to that in a little bit and keep you updated. If you see his car move, let me know.
Yeah, for sure. I might go check in on him. I'll be right back.
Yeah, please do. And David Howard, Max Terrio continue to battle for that lead position. Battling hard. Fun race. And Max Terrio, he's coming down pit road. So he'll be the first one, I think, to do his green flag pit stop. Actually, no, I take that back. Corey Wharton, Timothy Lewis, and Ricky Goodman have already pitted. So we are moving into green flag pit stops now. So David Howard takes the lead again. And I'm excited to see what happens when David comes back out of the pits. See how close he and Max are to each other. And there you see Max Terrio getting his right sides. And Abbott's car just disappeared from the track. Max Terrio taking all 4 tires. David Howard now coming down pit road. Nate LaFleur.
Oh, I missed it. Are these guys taking 4? They taking 2?
Max pitted and took 4. And we got a lot of guys coming down pit road. Ooh, get a little bit of a bumble up there, jumble up. Did you find out what happened to Mike?
Yeah, he had computer failure. His screens went black and came back, but he couldn't do anything. So he's restarting now, and that got him away.
Well, glad to hear everything's okay. Like I said, anytime I'm racing and I see something weird like that, I kind of get worried that the guy's having an emergency at home or something.
Yeah, he's okay. I checked in on him.
All right, good deal.
Disappointed though. You can hear it in his voice. He's not happy, but
I'm sure. New leader Calvin Allison as we roll through these green flag pit stops. Yeah, just before that happened to him, that's what I was saying. I had the fortune to race with him. We got down to maybe 30 laps or so to go, and I was in the lead with a couple seconds on him, and I was watching the interval and saw him just creeping up on me, and it didn't take long. He got around me. He's a super fast, super good driver.
yeah, he's consistent. That's what he's about. He's usually there at the end, and he's very consistent on almost every track we go to. So he's someone I like to get behind and watch his line and try and learn a few things, because he's a couple hours, perfecting each of these tracks. He gets a lot of practice.
Yeah, and it definitely shows he puts his time in, complete control of the car, as long as his computer's on anyway. Now, Nate LaFleur is in the lead right now, and I'm showing him as having pitted twice. Is that correct?
I'm only showing him once on my screen, 10-second stop.
Okay. Yeah, I see the 10-second stop, but it said pits 2. Must have just been a glitch or something from the beginning of the race.
Yeah, possibly. He's only listed as 1 for me. Him, Josh, both looks like they took 2 tires. Axe did take 4.
And I tell you what, that might pay out for Max, because he's less than a second behind the leader, and if there's a big difference between 2 tires and 4 tires here, that could pay off big for him.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on him. I think you're right. I think we're going to see him being able to just drive a little bit faster than these guys.
And David Howard, who was running second and first, swapping back and forth with Max prior to pit stops, he's now down in the 6th position. And he did take 4 tires as well. And yeah, Max Terrio's slowly making ground on these guys. Let's go on board with Max, and you can see he's got the 2 positions right there in front of him. He knows he has 4 tires, and I don't know if he knows that they only have 2, but you can see he's a lot faster. And just a lap, he's gained about a half a second on the leader. 2 laps anyway. And he gets a good run on Buckley coming out of turn 2. Probably going to go for the pass here pretty soon. You know,
yeah, he's definitely getting...
Go ahead.
I was going to say he's getting into the throttle real quick, and that's going to give him the run right here.
Woo, they are close. These guys are running door to door. Let's not get any closer than that, boys.
Yeah, he's flirting with that quarter panel, man. It wouldn't take much to spin him out here.
No, not at all. When you're in those turns, that car is barely hanging on. He's doing good. I mean, he's being conservative, as you know, like he needs to. I mean, he definitely has Buckley beat on speed. He just needs to find that way around him, and like you said, it's very difficult to pass here.
Yeah, the preferred line is definitely a combination of both lines, so it, you know, it's tough to make one of them work quickly. And Josh did everything he could to defend that line. You know, he's not obligated to let him by any means, so he's...
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, no blocking, just he's not making it easy on him, that's all. And we got a pack here in the middle. Looks like the 11 of Timothy Lewis, the 18 of Jamie Christensen, and the 17 of Jeff File. All 3 very close. And I missed it. Terrio is now on the inside of Joshua Buckley. I think he's going to complete the pass. All right, 1 down, 1 to go for Max. However, while battling with Josh, he lost a good half a second on leader Nate LaFleur.
Yeah, that's Nate. Nate was looking in his mirror watching these guys fight, and that's what he wanted to see for a little while there. But I think now that Max is around, he's going to close that gap pretty quick.
Yeah, that's always the best thing to see when you're in the lead, is the other 2 guys battling in your rearview mirror. I love seeing that. So go back to this pack again. It looks like Jamie Christensen has come out on top of that group that was battling. And Timothy Lewis, looks like he fell almost to the back of that pack. Very strange seeing the number 11 on Tim's car. I'm so used to seeing him in the 4. And now we have some cars dealing with lap traffic. Max Terrio goes around the number 4 of Ricky Goodman. And hasn't gained any ground on Nate since we last mentioned him. Or not much ground anyway, maybe a 10th.
Not much. Yeah, about a 10. They are slowly clicking down though. I'm watching the interval there, and it's you know, 100th by 100th is coming off.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, we're almost at the halfway point already.
You know, watching these guys run as hard as they are, it's really encouraging to me to have them go, you know, green this time. Knowing that you've got 23 guys or 22 guys on the track that are capable of racing each other without taking each other out, it's going to be a great season for sure.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. I'm excited, especially because I'm getting back on the track again. And I apologize during the race. I want to say it again. I didn't wreck anybody, but I was all proud of myself during warm-up. I ran 80 some odd laps straight, didn't spin out once, and then we get on track and I'm battling for the lead about 5 or 10 laps in, and I lost control. Fortunately, no one else got caught up in it. No caution came out or anything, but I felt a little silly.
Nah, man, I think you're gonna be battling for a couple wins over the season. And looks like it's coming back to you real easy. So I'm excited to see what you do.
So I'm starting to think that the difference in tires between Max Terrio and Nate LaFleur has pretty much evened itself out now. I don't really see a whole lot of change in the gap there.
No, it's definitely faded off, and I think the difference between 2 and 4 will probably equalize pretty quick. But those first 5-6 laps on 4 tires, I think you definitely want those. You know, late in the race, you're going to want that extra grip.
Now Max is in a tough spot right here. You see, he has 2 lap cars. Is that a, yeah? No, actually, I'm wrong on that. That's the 81 in Nate LaFleur. That is the leader. Wow, I thought that was 2 lap cars. He caught up to him so fast.
Yeah, it looks like Nate had some trouble getting around that lap car, and it slowed his momentum down. And Max was just able to capitalize, put him right there.
Yeah, wow. And Max gets a hell of a run coming off of turn 4. And I think Max is going to make himself the new leader. So yeah, he definitely capitalized on Nate's difficulty with the lap car. Yeah, I turned the camera away for a bit, came back, and I just assumed that was 2 lap cars in front of him because I didn't think he was that close to Nate yet.
Half a second can close up real quick when you got to get around lap traffic, and I think that, you know, that can be frustrating as a leader, and that can throw off your rhythm, and you know, the game can change real quick.
Yep, and it can get in your head a little bit too if you get a little upset about it. I know even the real drivers, when I go to the race, you know, you'll listen to them on the radio, and you can see it. They'll get angry at a lap car, and then from that point on, they're not driving well because they're just angry. Got the 28 at Calvin Allison looking to the inside of David Howard for that 5th spot. Not quite going to close it up this time.
Is it just me, or has David got a little bit of damage on his right front rear there?
I think he does, yeah. Looks like his right front fender is dented in pretty bad. Still handling pretty well, holding on to the 5th spot.
Yeah, he's maintaining his speed pretty good, so it might not be upsetting the car too much.
Wow, Calvin is all over him though. He knows he's there. Let's go on board with Calvin. And a little bit more
Whoa.
lap traffic. Whoa, that's the 84 of Kevin O'Brien. That almost got hairy.
Yeah, you're tight on a bumper like that. You can't see in front of the car in front of you. He's out of the way. There's a car almost dead stopped in front of that. It can unnerve you.
Yeah, a little bit. But great job by Calvin. Just, hey, back off. He's still got 50 laps to make something happen, and that's what I like when the drivers keep that perspective. They know I don't have to win it this lap. And that's usually, you know, if I'm the one being passed, I kind of do the same thing. You know, if I look up and there's 50 laps to go and a guy has caught up to me, you know, a whole second in the last 3 or 4 laps, I'm not even going to waste my time fighting him because I know he's going to get around me eventually anyway.
Yeah, and I think decisions like that, you know, should be made knowing how many laps are coming. You're going to fight a little bit harder with 10 to go than you are with 50 to go, of course, but having smart drivers and clean racers, that's really what builds this type of racing.
Yeah, and we have passed the halfway point now. We're lap 53 out of 100, and probably won't be long. We'll see him coming down pit road again for more fuel.
Yeah, I think Calvin made it to, I want to say 32, 33, and he was the last car, I believe, pit. I could be mistaken, but I think that was it.
And up front,
the reason I thought that was...
Go ahead.
I was going to say the reason I thought that was interesting because he could have been pushing it to a 2-stop race if he was trying to, so we'll see.
Well, I just had my 9 o'clock dropout. Almost every time I broadcast, right around 9 o'clock, between 9 and 9:30, my connection drops for about a half a second. I have no idea why, but it's back.
Oh yeah, I just saw it. Yeah, you should be calling your service provider.
Oh, I have. I've called them. They've checked everything, replaced the routers, done this and that. They even came out and reran the wires underground because they thought maybe it was wet or getting, you know, shorted out or something. It's the weirdest thing though. Same time every night.
I wonder if your computer is checking for updates or something.
I'm usually pretty good about tweaking all that and turning it off, but one thing that did just remind me of, I meant to start doing this halfway through. One of the things we're doing with this race tonight is we're having random drawings for 2 random drawings for $5 each and 1 random drawing for $10. And we're going to go ahead and do that first drawing now. And you can see up on your screen here, I have a little box. This is from a website called random.org, and this is just a little applet thing that's on the site. And I'm going to type in a number. Minimum is going to be 1, obviously. Maximum will be the number of drivers we have, which is 23. And whoever, actually 22 since you're up here, Mike.
22, yeah.
So I'm going to put in 22, and it's going to generate a random number. And whoever's in that position of that number is going to get $5 here in just a little bit.
Nice little incentive for the guys. I think that's a cool little thing. We're going to do the same thing on Wednesday.
All right, so I got the running order up here on the right, and I'm ready to generate a random number between 1 and 22, and whoever's in that position when I hit generate is going to get the $5. And that would be the 8th position, Dustin Phillips. Congratulations to Dustin.
That was for $5.
Yep, that was the $5 drawing.
Looks like we got the leaders coming in. Nate's entering the pit. He's been followed in by 3 other drivers.
Yeah, Max is in, David Howard's in, so all these guys who are leading up there, they're coming and getting more tires and more fuel. And I think they're going to have to pit one more time before it's all over. And once we get up to lap 75, we'll do another drawing for the other $5, and then our last drawing will be done on the final position after the race. So Calvin Allison, the new leader.
Yeah, he did stretch his fuel that first run, so I'm sure he'll be putting a couple more laps down. I don't think he can go enough, but it's going to be close.
And we still have cars coming down for green flag pit stops. Oh, caution's out. We got which car was that?
I'm looking it up right now.
I think it's the 6 of Andy Ash. Let's have a look at the replay. Yeah, I mean, you see Andy kind of came up across the nose of the number 2 of Matt Breckel. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that like I'm accusing. It's hard to tell from the angle I was just looking at. Let's take a look at that again. Yeah, hard to tell there. Matt definitely wasn't up against the wall completely. He's kind of holding the lane down a little bit. I don't know if Andy might have thought he was clear, and just kind of got into Matt's nose. Let's have one more look here.
Yeah, I was close. He was just about here.
Go in slow motion here. Yeah, it's hard to tell what really happened there. Just 2 drivers in the same piece of track, really.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if got the clear to move up, and yeah, I was just that was close. There was no intent there. It's not like he turned him into the wall. Just a racing deal.
Well, I'm sure a lot of our drivers are happy to see that, but the ones who just pitted, we'll see how it ends up cycling through. Obviously, they're not going to need to pit, so it'll shuffle them back to the front again. But as of right now, there's only 7 cars on the lead lap because of the green flag pit stops. So first caution of the night, lap 63. And this will get these guys bunched up and get them battling again. You know, honestly though, as far into it as we were still seeing some battles.
Yeah, there's nothing like a late caution to make it exciting, so.
Yeah, when we first started Red Light, what we were doing, we were doing just little fun races like this, and we would, if it was green the whole way, which happened pretty frequently, with 10 to go, we would just throw a caution just to bunch everyone back up, let us get more practice racing on a restart.
So I'm sitting watching Calvin go around the track here, and I think he's cutting his engine off, saving some gas.
Let's go on board and see if we can hear. He's at least holding the clutch in, that's for sure.
Yeah, the RPMs are way down. There we go, yeah, he's holding the clutch in for sure. But he's running about 1100 RPM, so it's not off, it's still running.
Well, now he hasn't pitted yet on the second round, so did he just stay out? I'm not real sure what's going on. Or is he, did he get fuel just now and he's, yeah, I think that's what he did. He just got fuel.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to make sure it lasts till the end.
Which I don't know if we can. It'll be close.
Well, 35 laps to go, right? Should be okay. How far did he stretch it that first time?
I think it was 30. I think he lapped 32, 33.
Yeah, that'd be tough to save 2 laps worth of fuel on one caution. Now, if we have a few cautions, then this could pay off.
Yeah, he could be betting on it for sure. Let's see how iRacing lines them back up. It never deals with type of situation very well, unfortunately. Yeah. It looks like it just let the drivers by, so... Yeah, that was a messy restart right there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on there.
I think iRacing was telling the 28 car of Raymond Edge, I believe, to let people by him, but it was telling people to stay behind him.
Yeah, no one was lined up or anything. God, that's terrible for those drivers. I actually didn't even expect a restart because they weren't lined up. I wasn't even ready for it. Ooh, driver in the wall.
Oh, the front stretch is a mess.
I think that was the 24. Kevin Cochran got into the wall a little bit back there.
Everybody did a good job of collecting it and getting back underway, though.
What? Oh, that was just a mess. God, I hate when the sim glitches like that.
Yeah, it doesn't know how to handle the wave arounds as well as it could, and there was a bunch of wave arounds.
Yeah, I know it does tell you, you know, you can be in line where you're supposed to be, and somebody will get a wave around and it stops and tells you, get behind the so-and-so car, when you're not actually trying to get behind him, you're just letting him go. Yeah, good job by the drivers getting the line back up after all that mess. Wow. And so now we have 7 cars on the lead lap. Max Terrio looking to the inside of Calvin Allison to try and take the lead. He gets a good run coming off of turn 2. Lots of momentum. Not quite enough to try and get around Calvin, though.
Yeah, I would definitely say Max will be the faster car, but like we said before, it's tough to get around the car whether you're faster or not. Both these guys have put a pretty big gap between Nate LaFleur and them, so they're about 3 seconds up over Nate right now.
And you can see there on your screen, these lead two have definitely pulled away from the field by far. Now Max is looking to the inside again. Yeah, they have almost a 4-second lead on third place in Nate LaFleur.
Yeah, Kelvin's definitely not saving any gas, that's for sure. He's betting on some cautions, or he's just going to be happy with a one-stop race here.
Max looking to the inside again.
It's like that drafting we talked about earlier kind of comes into play there. You know, you get behind the car and you suck up pretty good, but as soon as you step out, it's like running into a brick wall.
Yeah, it really is. Let's go back a little bit further. We got a pretty tight pack here. Joshua Buckley, David Howard, the 15 of John Pershing. And that was a 72 of Raymond Edge. He is a lap down. But all these guys in a pretty tight pack. Let's see if they can hang on to it. Side by side between the 9 of Buckley and the 7 of David Howard. And now Pershing's looking to the inside, see if he can get a run on these guys. Wow, these guys are bumper to bumper.
Yeah, some exciting stuff.
We got the 18 of Jamie Christensen now. Jamie is also a lap down, so he's not one of the lead lap battlers, but he's staying up in the mix. We got the 15 of Pershing, the 9 of Buckley, and the 7 of David Howard. Those guys are on the lead lap. So back up front, Max Terrio, he's starting to put a little bit of distance between himself and Calvin.
Yeah, looks like he got around. We missed it when we were looking at the back in the pack again.
Yeah, every time I go to the back of the, it's almost like NASCAR. Every time they go to commercial, there's a caution. And we got the 84, Kevin O'Brien, coming out of pit road right now. Cool looking paint job on that car. It's like a Ken Block look, and that's what my paint job that I'm driving with NASCAR is, a Ken Block paint scheme that I made myself.
Yeah, very nice, very flashy. If you're into energy drinks.
Yeah, I actually don't drink energy drinks. I don't drink any caffeine at all, so kind of odd having an energy drink on my car, but I'm a big fan of Ken Block, so I went ahead and went with one of his paint jobs.
Yeah, the Monster logo looks good anyways.
Yeah, I've always said they really owe a lot to whoever came up with that logo, because that is one of the coolest looking logos I've ever seen for anything. So Pershing and Buckley still battling hard with the 18 of Jamie Christensen up in there.
Yeah, Jamie is one of the cars only one lap down, so I'm sure he sees those cars in front of him and he wants to get up and try and get in front of those other cars a lap down and be the lucky dog. Right now that lucky dog position belongs to Andy Ash, so.
And Andy, we remember, was the driver involved in the incident that brought out the caution. Oh, they go 3 wide, 81 and Nate LaFleur. Splits the difference between Ash and the 17 car of Jeff File. And Nate LaFleur is in the third spot. But he's a good, almost about 4 seconds behind Calvin Allison in that second spot.
Yeah, now that he's out of traffic, though, he might be able to make some time up, especially if these two get back together and start fighting. But right now, Max is definitely stepping out a little bit.
Yeah, he is, and with only 19 laps to go, he's running out of time.
And with only 19 laps, I think it's time for you to give away another $5 iRacing credit.
I think that's a great idea. I forgot to do it on lap 25, or lap 75, that is.
Yeah, I bet to remind you, I forgot to.
All right, so you still see our results up from the last time. That was when Dustin Phillips won it. And I'm going to hit that generate button right there again. You see where the arrow is, and it's going to generate a new number. And we're going to compare that to the running order there on the right side of your screen, and whoever's in that position, the one that's the black text with the white background, they will get the $5. And here we go. And that will be leader, Max Terrio.
Nice.
So congratulations to Max on his $5, and that will be in iRacing credits, so we'll send that. And one thing I forgot to mention, if the same name is drawn again the second time, then that person is still eligible to get it. So it's not like these guys are out of the possibility of getting that $10 as well. So if the random number happens to be whatever position those guys are in at the end of the race, then they could be walking out with $15.
Get yourself a nice new track.
Yeah, that'd get you a whole track. So we're down to only 6 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, we got cars talking about coming in for pits, coming in for fuel, so we should see some splash and goes coming. It'll be interesting to see what these top cars do.
I see David Howard coming down pit road.
I'll tell you, if I'm the leader, though, I'm going to stretch it, because, you know, these guys coming in and out of pit road, we could get a caution.
Yeah, that's true. I did see a couple guys bobble it up a little bit coming down pit road. It almost, you know, the cone comes up on you so fast. You come out of that little road, and next thing you know, you're speeding in the pits if you're not careful. And I think that's where a lot of guys get into trouble, is they'll lock up the brakes right there. The car still has some lateral force on it, and the back end just goes around on you.
Yeah, you end up trying to take that corner as quick as you can, and then that line just jumps out at you, so you're really hard on the brakes.
So David Howard is taking 2 tires and heading out. 8.2 second pit stop for him. Back up to the leaders, Max Terrio and Calvin Allison. About a almost 2 second gap between those two.
Nate LaFleur's on pit road. Looks like, see what he does here. I'm sure we're going to see some guys just take fuel.
I see lots of cars coming down pit road now.
Nate's taking right sides. Looks like everybody on pit road is taking 2 tires there.
Yeah, and that's really the only option at this point. 4 tires with only 13 to go. I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference.
Now, and you are sitting there for a little bit of gas, so you might as well change a couple tires while you're there.
Right, yep. So we'll keep an eye on leaders Max Terrio and Calvin Allison. They're the only cars on the lead lap right now, and they're going to have to pit very soon for fuel.
You know, with the way Max is pulling away here from Calvin, makes me think Calvin might be trying to save a little bit.
That's possible. He may think he can make it the rest of the way.
You know, he's not even getting up to 180, and earlier in the race, you were diving in the corners at 185, so...
Yeah, he's almost 2 seconds behind Max now, so I do believe he is trying to save. And Max is on the pit road entry lane. That'll give Calvin Allison the lead. So now it's going to come down to if Calvin and Allison can make the fuel last.
I'll tell you, it wouldn't be the first race he's won that way, so see what he does.
Max Terrio almost overshot his pit stall. He just gets a splash and goes. He doesn't even get tires. So now it all comes down to how much fuel is left in Calvin Allison's tank. He's either going to win the race or he's going to finish very, very poorly. Well, of course, if he gets down to a lap or two left and realizes he's going to have to pit, he could come in and just get a splash and probably end up just behind Max Terrio and still get a podium finish.
Yeah, for sure. I think at this point he's decided he's going, but if he does run out, if he does start sputtering, he can jump in. There's no reason for him not to jump in if he was planning on pitting, so unless he's hoping for a caution.
It all depends on where you start sputtering. You start sputtering on the backstretch, you're golden. But if you start sputtering right after you go past pit entry, you're kind of screwed.
Oh, he's coming in.
He's pitting. And that almost guarantees Max Terrio a win if he can keep a hold of it well.
Yeah, for sure. With the way that was saving fuel there, I'm sure Max got some distance. Running full out. We'll see what happens here.
All right, Calvin Allison is in his pit stall. Oh, he overshot it bad. Well, that wasn't any chance he had now. Yeah, he had a nice quick stop. It was only 2.7 seconds. Max Terrio was in for 4 seconds, so he almost could have come out ahead of Max, but
there goes Max right there.
Yep, Max goes around him. Yeah, that overshooting that pit stall really hurt him there. But he's what, 3.5 seconds behind Max. I don't think that the overshooting the pit stall cost him quite that much time anyway. It definitely would have been a more exciting finish anyway.
For sure. Hey, we still got 7 laps to go. You know, we could see something come out with a quick shootout, but you know, yeah, I think you're probably looking at the finishing order right here.
And our closest battle right now is 3rd and 4th, Nate LaFleur and David Howard battling for 3rd. Kevin O'Brien getting way down on the bottom, letting these guys go right past him. Good job. So we'll just keep our eye on Nate LaFleur and David Howard here for a little bit. See if David can pull out a podium position or if Nate LaFleur can hold him off. And behind these guys, we've got Buckley and Fershing. They're still battling. They've been battling pretty much this entire race. Not sure which pair I want to watch, but Buckley and Fershing or David Howard and Nate LaFleur.
Yeah, they're both doing a good job putting on a little bit of show here.
And we got the 28 of Calvin Allison going around lap car 84 of Kevin O'Brien. I thought I was missing a pass for the lead there for a second when I saw cars up front next to each other. Coming down.
Max I'm sure doesn't want to see those lap cars he's got to get by, but he's doing an okay job right now.
Yeah, and credit to the guys that are a lap down too. They're doing a great job of giving them room. Bershing and Buckley, they're about to go side by side.
Yeah, John looks like he's got a bit of a run there.
Uh-oh, 72's up in the wall. White flag. That almost got ugly for Buckley.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get out of the way there, and it just could turn back, but they were okay.
So Max Terrio has a comfortable 5-second lead on second place Calvin Allison as he comes around to take the win. So excellent job by Max here, just swept it. He got pole and won the race. Did it just a great solid job all day.
Yeah, he was definitely fast. That's a good win. Congratulations to the 42, and yeah, it was fun watching.
And we'll have him, we'll bring him down here just a little bit and interview him and see what he has to say. I'm glad to see him win. I really like Max. He's a great driver and he's stuck with us ever since he joined. He's been real solid on participation. He's here with us every week and just a good solid driver. Yeah, pretty impressed with the race. I mean, 22 drivers, only one caution. I mean, that's great in my book.
Yeah, I keep thinking that we're gonna, get these guys running hard and bringing up the caution a lot more than we are, and it's encouraging to see these guys, out of the box, being able to race with each other. But I think that's because the leagues are kind of set up in the same way. We expect the same stuff, and these guys know that, they can push a little bit harder, but get that room in return from doing it. So it makes for exciting races, that's for sure.
Yeah, it does. All right, have a look at our final results here. Max Terrio, you see, is the winner. Second place, Calvin Allison. Third is Nate LaFleur, followed by David Howard, Joshua Buckley, John Fershing, Corey Wharton, Jamie Christensen, Dustin Phillips, Andy Ash, Andrew Packer, Jeff File, Timothy Lewis, Ivan Jones, Raymond Edge, Ricky Goodman, Kevin O'Brien, Kevin Cochran, Dale Albright, Matt Breckel, and Mike Abbott, who retired early due to computer issues, and Sean Butler, who actually did not start. He was in practice and just didn't start the race. And there you are, Mike, 23rd.
Yeah.
And of course, those guys just showed up because you guys were in the practice session having fun with the drivers before the race. All right, let's before we bring Max down here, let's do our drawing for the $10 gift certificate, iRacing gift certificate. I'll pull the results back up here, and a little bit of overlap there, and we'll run it again. So I'm going to hit the little generate key here, and whoever finished in that position after where it says result down here will get the $10.
Drum roll.
And that is position number 20, Matt Breckel. So Matt Breckel gets the $10 gift certificate, buy himself a car or a track, or part of a track or a car anyway. So congratulations to him. And let's bring Max Terrio down here and have a chat with him. Max Terrio, congratulations, man. Very strong all night. Tell us how you did it.
Yeah, thanks very much. Actually, last night I practiced a little bit and found the ideal line. Just before joining in today, I was able to replicate it on qualifying. Actually, my qualifying lap was the best I've run all weekend over here, so that was a good start. And then tire management, and it was for me that was the key today.
Yeah, you did a great job of it. A lot of great battling I saw early on between you and David Howard Jr. How was it racing around him? I've raced with him a lot and I enjoy it.
Yeah, we were side by side for some laps. We were equally fast, and that progressive banking, it permits a little bit of side by side depending on how you enter the corner and how good of a run you can get exiting.
Yeah, I noticed that when you would run behind when you get back to second or third, you were a quick car, but getting around, the guy in front of you, even though you were faster, completing that pass looked a little bit difficult when you couldn't run your preferred line. But man, it was exciting to watch.
Yeah, for me, 1 and 2 wasn't the best to pass. The wall out of 2 comes up quickly, and there's a bump, so it's a bit. It really jerks off the car real tight. So I tried to make most of my passes coming out of 4, trying to get a good run, lay back the entry of 3 and a good run out of 4. But even battling with other guys, I wasn't pushing the issue. I wanted to keep my tires under my car and keeping it under right temperature, not to overheat. And running 100 laps with 1 caution, it definitely helps to have a good consistent pace.
Yeah, for sure. Did you think we were going to run, 100 laps with only 1 caution, or were you expecting a little bit more?
Well, Homestead's up that spreads out quickly, so after the first 5 or 6 laps, even in my mirror, I saw that maybe the top 10 were almost one after the other. So I expected a good race from that point on, and the only tricky part is pit entrance and pit exits. That's where some guys sometimes get caught, but a good group of drivers tonight. That was very fun.
All right, well, we definitely enjoyed watching you, Max. Great job out there, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Yep, me too, and good job on podcasting those preseason thunders. That's fun.
Yes, sir.
And you'd be excited to know, man, you won one of the draws tonight, so I think you're getting a $5 iRacing credit.
Wow, double whammy.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. All right, we'll see you next time, Max.
Thank you.
And I don't believe we have Calvin Allison in our chat, so we'll go to Nate LaFleur, who finished 3rd. Nate LaFleur, this is Jeremy Patterson in the booth. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, it was quite the action-packed race for sure. I mean, there was a fair share of having to battle with lap cars and zigzagging in and out of carcasses, and it was definitely interesting.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of trouble early on with one of the lap cars. It slowed you up, and Max Terrio, capitalized on that and got past you. It seemed like you were never really able to recover from that. It was unfortunate, but you did a great job out there tonight.
Yeah, Max and David were the class of the field tonight. They were definitely the 2 fastest cars out there, but I'm pretty sure Max was the only car on 4 tires there when I got caught up behind that lap car, and the rest of us were all on 2 because he was leading by, over 2 seconds, and the next thing you know, he's back in the mix. So that almost, all but confirmed him being on 4 tires. So once he got by me, I just couldn't do anything anymore. He was starting to pull away the rest of that run.
Yeah, and we were watching that. He was on 4, and he was gaining a little bit of ground on you. It looked like it had started to even out, but then he had a kind of a second win there, and it got him out in front of you guys. Yeah, great having both leagues together. Are you excited about the next race on Wednesday?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, this is awesome. Getting to race with all the guys from my most 2 favorite leagues ever. basically all the best driving people on iRacing, in my opinion. All of these guys that come out week to week are just. I mean, there's no other leagues like this out there. I can guarantee it. I mean, they're just. We might not have Ray fellas out there, but we've got the most courteous guys on iRacing, and I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, I think it's great to come week to week and see these guys just run out of the gate with each other and being able to give each other room. And I think that has a lot to do with both leagues and the way they're set up and the people that we look for. It's awesome to see you guys all together and run 100 laps with one caution and some tight pack racing to boot. So yeah, man, keep that stuff up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've had fun with Red Light in the past, 2 seasons now, and I heard about NASCAR, almost identical rule set and guidelines, and some of the guys that race over at Red Light are in there, and I've tried it out with with you, Mike, and all the other guys, and it was almost a spitting image of Red Light, and I honestly thought I'd never be able to find something again that replicated it, but NASCAR's definitely one that did, and now that we're running together and having these co-league events, it's the most fun I've had on here in a long time.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that, and glad we can put some stuff together that everybody enjoys. And I will be racing with you on Wednesday night. So looking forward to that. I'll try not to wreck anybody. I almost did on the last race, but yeah, good times, and we're glad you enjoy it. We enjoy watching it. We enjoy broadcasting it, and we will see you next time, Nate.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for putting on a good show.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm looking forward to Wednesday, man. We're running our sister race to this one. We're going to be doing 100 laps at Charlotte, and almost the same setup. We're running a little bit colder weather, a little bit less humidity, so the car should really hook up. Should be interesting.
Yeah, and you're doing just make sure I got this right. We're doing a fixed setup and default weather, or not default weather. You said it's going to be colder temperatures. And
oh, you know what? I might have matched yours. It might actually. I think you're right. It is default. We normally run cold, but for that Wednesday race, it'll be default weather.
Okay, and you are doing the 50% fuel as well, right?
We are. Yep.
Yeah, I really like that. I thought that was a great idea. We've adopted that from you guys, and we're going to do that this upcoming season. The 50% fuel just makes the pit strategy a lot more important, and I think that's a really important part of racing that sometimes gets lost on iRacing.
Yeah, for sure. I think you're right. I think it absolutely to having the all-around talent, being able to get in and out of pit road, being able to manage your tires, being able to do all that stuff. So it definitely adds that extra element, and I'm glad to see it come over to Red Light, and I'm sure it's going to produce some pretty good races.
Yeah. All right, so real quick, just a reminder, you go to our website, redlightleague.com, and see our information there. And if you'd like to join us, there's just a link at the top that click it says apply. Read our rules, fill out the application form, and we'll get back to you. And also, you can go to NASCARRacingLeague.com, and they also have a league application there if you're interested. And Mike, I do believe you guys are still recruiting.
Yes, we are. We've got, I think, about 5 or 6 more positions available before we're going to shut it down for Season 2, but we are still recruiting. And, again, I encourage any drivers that are watching these races and, want that kind of experience that we have going on here and are patient and willing to learn, come out here and give it a shot. It can be very rewarding.
Yeah, definitely some of the best racing I've ever had on here, and I've been here for, I actually just got my 4th star last week, so I've been here for 4 years, and some of the best racing I've seen yet, so I'm real excited to be a part of it.
Don't forget, we will be broadcasting our Wednesday race as well, so go to our website, navscar.com, or twitch.tv/navscar, and we'll have Wednesday's race broadcasted just like this one tonight. We got the same giveaways. Might not be as technologically advanced with the random number, but we'll do it in a fair way. But 2 $5 giveaways and a $10 giveaway on Wednesday as well.
All right, and just one more congratulations to our winners of those drawings this time. It was Matt Breckel, Matt Breckel got the $10, and Dustin Phillips and Max Terrio each got 5. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to Max for winning pole and winning the race. Hopefully all the guys had a lot of fun, and we will see you on Wednesday.